Hashimoto's thyroiditis, something that is not well understood by the traditional doctors or endocrinologists, yet 1 out of 8 women will develop problems with her thyroid and end up with hypothyroidism. And one of the reasons why women develop hypothyroidism is Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So in today's video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and share with you my journey of Hashimoto's recovery, how I sent Hashimoto's into remission, the steps that I took, the nutrition plan that I followed, the supplements that helped me, so that you can be empowered with reversing your Hashimoto's thyroiditis and rebalancing your thyroid. Ready? Let's get started. Hey, Yulia Tabith here, and together with my husband, Paul Tabith, we are here to help you create healthy hormones, get into your ideal weight, and create the life of your dreams naturally. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the bell to stay up to date with our latest videos. Now, Hashimoto's thyroiditis is usually the last thing that your traditional doctor will test you for, and even after you've asked them for it. So it's not something that they routinely test for, unfortunately. And unfortunately, hypothyroidism happens in the most cases because of Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So when I got diagnosed with hypothyroidism in my early 20s, I had no idea about Hashimoto's. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know how to diagnose it. And even after I started changing my nutrition plan and switched to a high fruit, plant foods lifestyle, no one talked about Hashimoto's thyroiditis. No one talked about reasons behind hypothyroidism. And it was my own journey. And as a nutritionist, and then digging deep and understanding and dealing with my own issues, that's what led me to discover about Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Now, thankfully, since then, not only have I reversed my own Hashimoto's, but I've also empowered women around the world and helped them overcome Hashimoto's thyroiditis, reverse hypothyroidism or improve their hypothyroidism, and also rebalance their hormones, rebalance their energy levels, and get into the best shape of their lives. Now, if you've got Hashimoto's thyroiditis, I'm sure you probably know what hypothyroidism is. I'm sure you probably know what fatigue is. I'm sure you probably know what falling hair is. I'm sure you probably know what weight gain and hormonal imbalances and gut issues. All those issues, I'm sure you are familiar with those. And those are the issues that I was experiencing as well at the time. So what happened with me is my desire to restore my thyroid, and I've been on medication, on thyroxine medication for a very long time. So my desire to restore thyroid led me to start exploring different diets. And I tried a high-fat diet, an Ayurveda diet, and I tried different variations, gluten-free, sugar-free, an anti-candida diet because I had candida at the time as well. And all those diets, none of them worked. What was happening to me was that I was actually getting weaker and weaker, and my adrenals were totally underfunctioning, and I was exhausted all the time. So I knew that I had to find a different plan to help me improve my health and also improve my energy levels and also reverse many of my health issues. I had PCOS, I had adrenal fatigue, I had candida issues, I had liver issues, I had fertility challenges, and so many other challenges that I had to get on top of. So eventually my search led me to a high fruit, plant foods lifestyle. So I switched to a diet that consists of primarily fruit. So you eat primarily fruit. It's not the only food that you live on, but you also eat green leaf vegetables, and you eat nuts and seeds, and you can also eat some plant food. So I followed a raw food diet for 4 years. And what happened several years into my raw food diet, I tested my thyroid and I tested my antibodies, and my antibodies were quite high. My thyroid antibodies, the 2 antibodies, anti-TPO and anti-TG, which you should also test if you've got hypothyroidism, were high. So they were in 500s. And just to give you an idea of what you should be aiming towards, under 100 means that your thyroid is in remission. Under 30 means that you reversed your Hashimoto's. However, if your antibodies are over 2, 3, 4, 500, especially 3 to 500, that means that you've got quite an aggressive Hashimoto's thyroid disease. And that means that the thyroid is being destroyed. that means that you've got an autoimmune disease. So that means you are at a much greater risk of developing other autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, for example, lupus, that can literally debilitate people's lives, and they can end up in wheelchairs. So that is something that is so important to address. And I still remember my doctor said, well, you know, your antibodies are high, but don't worry about it. Everyone's antibodies are high. And I went home and I thought, oh, why are they so high? The range is, you know, up to 30 and mine are in 500s. Why are they so high? So that was the point when I started questioning things. And that was the point when I started researching things. And my research led me to understand that hypothyroidism in the majority of cases happens because of Hashimoto's, and Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease that usually has various factors contributing to it. So yes, if you've got Hashimoto's, you need to work on your adrenal health. And I had adrenal fatigue. You need to work on your gut health. And my gut health was still not optimal. The way it was functioning, it wasn't optimal. It was still, you know, weak working gut. And you probably also need to work on your liver health, and you need to work on other aspects of your nutrition and lifestyle that perhaps you haven't as yet addressed. So although my diet was very healthy, my lifestyle was very healthy, I was active, and I had relatively good energy levels, I still had Hashimoto's. And that was the point where I realized, okay, more work is needed to be done here. So there were various issues that I started to work on, and some of them were gut health, correcting gut health, and low stomach acid, and addressing those issues, and also correcting my nutrition further, making sure that my omegas are healthy. And when my daughter was born, I was no longer following an all raw food diet. So I switched to a high raw diet. And over time, I just kept sticking to the same path, to the same way of correcting my gut health and looking after my body, and also correcting some other challenges in my body. And by repeating that over and over and over again, I was able to send my Hashimoto's into remission. So if your antibodies are below 100, that means that you've sent your Hashimoto's into remission. And you need to keep on doing what you're doing. So you can go back to the lifestyle that you were leading before that caused Hashimoto's in the first place. And you also need to be very cautious. And I need to be very cautious about what I'm doing and what I'm eating, and making sure that I don't get overly tired, and making sure that I'm keeping on top of stress levels in life, and keeping sure that I'm staying active. So it's a dedication to your body and to your health. Now, one of the things that I find very shocking is just how ignored Hashimoto's thyroiditis is in the traditional medical world. And my husband and I have been running our nutrition practice for the last nearly 10 years. So we've worked with hundreds of women with hormonal imbalances. We've helped women with most severe hormonal issues, including Hashimoto's, including hypothyroidism. And we've seen massive, amazing transformations. One of the things that they all said was that, well, my doctor never tested my antibodies. Thank you so much for helping me test my antibodies and understand that I've got Hashimoto's, and then work on reversing it. And unfortunately, most doctors don't. They just don't understand it. In fact, we worked with a lady who reached out to us because her Hashimoto's thyroid antibodies were over 3,000. Can you imagine? If your levels are above 300, 400, 500, that's already aggressive state of Hashimoto's. Her levels were 3,000. Guess what her doctor told her? Don't worry about it. We don't even look at antibodies. There's just nothing to worry about. And that was so shocking because she had other issues, and we had to work with her and correct it and help her lower her levels of antibodies. So there are a lot of things that you need to understand that your doctor is not telling you, and endocrinologists that you'll go to will not tell you either. Because in my journey of restoring Hashimoto's and restoring thyroid, I went to some of the best endocrinologists, and they all said the same thing, that, oh, don't worry about it. We don't even look at antibodies. So it is such a misunderstood condition that women just cannot find answers to in the traditional world. So that is why many people turn to alternative ways of solving this issue. And that is why a lot of our clients come to us, because they've already gone down the route of going to every single doctor under the sun, going, taking every supplement under the sun, and going like from keto to paleo and switching diets and even vegan and even raw vegan, and still noticing that their Hashimoto's is not being reversed. They're still not having much success with it. So understand that Hashimoto's is a very specific autoimmune disease, and autoimmune diseases need a specific strategy for you to implement in order to address them. So if I had to identify that one biggest thing that helped me send my Hashimoto's into remission, I would say was my lifestyle. It was my diet and lifestyle. So sticking to plant foods, rain or shine. And I love plant foods. I've been following this lifestyle for over 12 years. So I totally love this way of eating. I love eating a lot of fruit. I love green smoothies. I love salads. And I love eating some other plant foods like sweet potatoes or taro, yucca. And I also love the fact that this lifestyle helps you build your health for long term. But this lifestyle alone might not be an answer to your condition, and you might need to work on other issues that are contributing. So gut health, for example, addressing your gut health, and then addressing low stomach acid, and then addressing your liver health, addressing your adrenal health, and rebuilding all those things will help you experience different results and will help you start feeling better, start feeling more energetic, start being more active, which is also very important on your journey of recovery from disease, and also start rebuilding your body and start really building that more resilient body, better looking body even, and fitter body. And then as you are doing so, also help you improve your mind and the way you feel every single day, and then help you really become a very different person. And I want to remind you that by sending your Hashimoto into remission, you are able to prevent other autoimmune diseases, and you are able to prevent that downhill slope that many people go on when they suffer with one autoimmune disease, and then how it starts to destroy people's certain organs. In case of Hashimoto's, thyroiditis is going to be thyroid, and how you can slowly reverse that and rebuild it and start really living a different life for yourself. Okay, by this stage, you might be thinking, okay, Julia, so it all sounds great. Well, what do I do next? Well, I would love to invite you to a free online training class where I will show you the 5 steps our clients are using to reverse their hormonal imbalances, drop 10 to 50 pounds of excess weight completely naturally with no carbohydrate restriction, and also rebuild the body of their dreams. So the link for that is rossomhealthy.com/training. The plan that I will show you in this training class is the plan that helped me send my Hashimoto's into remission, reverse my hormonal imbalances from PCOS and fertility issues. We've got a beautiful 7-year-old daughter. So if you want to do all that, then the link for the masterclass is rossomhealthy.com/training. So register, start looking after your health. Don't give up on yourself, and know that that transformation might not be an overnight success. But if you keep at it, and if you keep on following the right plan, you can create the body and life and health that you desire to experience. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. And I'm going to link it to another video where one of our clients, Nidia, will share her journey of Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism with you. See you there.